Dana said your post-fight comments were a joke. I was wondering if you wanted to comment on them.
Yeah, it was, I think you're referring to when I said, like to shut his mouth a little bit at the last punch. But, when you're in the heat of the moment, the ref hadn't stopped me yet. Who knows what's going to happen, if he's going to recover, if they're going to stop the fight. And I really only hit him twice. Once on my feet, once on the ground. I didn't keep going. I didn't go after the ref trying to stop me. Nothing like that. It was just a reaction of mine to keep going until I was stopped. And it did feel good though.
Dana, you end up with Henderson again. How do you see that fight going? What would you do differently the second time?
I'd win. In a couple words, I'd win the next time. I just felt that my game plan was there. My body was just a little bit flat. Whether it was physically or mentally, I just wasn't there that night. But that's the main reason why I wanted that fight again. That and the belt that he has. And after watching his last two fights, it makes me want to do even more.
Dana, question for you over here.
Obviously, the right hand's always been a big weapon for you, but it seemed like to this fight, at least for me, more than a lot of fights, you were just closing the distance and then just throwing these bombs over. Was there something about Bisping's style that you saw an opening for those opening fights, or was it that he criticized it, or what was going on there?
It was apparent that he always liked to circle off to his left, which was towards my right hand. But I was supposed to be setting it up a little better with my jab and my left hook with my front hand. And I'm not sure exactly what I did right before I landed that right, but I knew that he likes to circle off after an attack trying to get away towards my power hand, and it's just not a smart thing to do. So I was looking for that pretty much from the get-go. A little too much the first round. I got my jab and hook going. The second one, a little better.
Leading up to this bout, most of the talk was the fact that if Bisping wins, he gets a title shot on his home soil. If Dan Henderson wins, he gets pushed off to the side. It goes to Damian Maia and Nate Marquardt. Other than your performance tonight, what are you going to talk to Dana about to try to convince him to get you that title shot?
Yeah, ultimately, it's up to him, but I feel in my mind that I came back and fought some fights and deserved that. It's up to him to make that decision. It's up to me to beat his ass if he doesn't make the right decision. No, but it's a fight.
He is a violent, dirty guy.
It's a fight that I won, and I feel like I haven't asked for it yet. I know I've let it know that I would like that rematch, but I have never asked Dana or anybody to give me that. It's just a matter of time. I knew that I need to win some fights and beat some good guys first, and I felt like I've done that now. And if it doesn't happen, I like fighting at 205 too. So there's lots of matchups for me, but we'll see. We'll see if he makes the right choice.
Dan, question for you. You said a couple moments ago that you didn't remember how you set up that right hand. You actually set it up with a kick, or an inside kick, just like that.
Left kick.
Yeah, have you been training that and using other weapons to set up your right hand? Because everybody knows the right hand's coming.
It's something, I do throw quite a bit of kicks in practice and training, and I did that a few times in the fight already before that, and just happened to, I guess, set it up right that time. Something I gotta watch. It was more of a instinct and reaction that I was doing out there, and thanks to having a good team of trainers behind me and a team class, that's what made it happen.
Well, it's almost a good thing that you were able to do without thinking about it, so congrats to you.
Thank you. No, I mean, I think after the first time first exchange where I hit him fairly well, and I felt that he started to run a little bit more, and it was somewhat expected. So, he did land probably a lot more jabs than I landed. I didn't throw too many the first round, but it really didn't affect him one bit. And just didn't feel very strong. So it made me come after him a little bit harder and more aggressive. I don't think I'd be the bad guy over there either. I think I don't think it was me that made his crowd chant USA. I think it was him. And just just how he is, and he's just, I guess, abrasive to the crowd and the fans, and I don't think he earned any more fans on the show. Yeah, I don't know. I had quite a few, fans at US and UK alike say that we used to like him before we watched him on the show, and that wasn't me doing that. That was him. And now I'm me no matter what. I'm always the same guy, and I was probably a little bit happier beating him up than I had in other fights that I've had in my past. That it was just a fun fight for me, especially the way it ended. So I don't know if I've lost UK fans over that. Hopefully not, but that's the way it goes, I guess.